In the mid-1980s, the world was divided by the Iron Curtain, a metaphorical barrier separating the Soviet bloc and the West. This was a time of profound political tension, a chess game on a global scale, where every move was calculated, every secret fiercely guarded. The East and West were in a constant state of watchful wariness, each side wary of the other's intentions. In this climate of suspicion and surveillance, the Soviet Union was a fortress of secrets. The state controlled information with an iron hand, maintaining a veil of secrecy over its internal affairs. This culture of concealment was deeply ingrained, permeating all aspects of Soviet life. It was a world where the truth was often twisted or obscured, hidden behind layers of propaganda and state-controlled media. This secrecy was about to be shattered by an event that would shock the world. On the night of April 26, 1986, in the town of Pripyat, Ukraine, disaster struck. A routine safety test was scheduled at the Chernobyl Nuclear Power Plant, specifically at Reactor 4. The aim was simple enough: to assess how the plant would respond to a loss of power. However, the execution of this plan was marred by a series of unfortunate decisions and oversights. As the plant's staff began to power down the reactor for the test, a fatal mistake was made. The reactor was taken down to a much lower power level than was safe or advisable. This created unstable conditions in the reactor. Yet, despite the clear danger, the decision was made to press on with the test. The stage was set for disaster. When the safety test was finally initiated, the reactor's unstable condition triggered a power surge. The staff scrambled to initiate an emergency shutdown, but it was too late. In the early hours of the morning, 2 explosions rocked Reactor 4, blowing the roof off the building and releasing large amounts of radioactive particles into the atmosphere. This wasn't just a simple explosion, it was a nuclear catastrophe. The reactor's core was now exposed, spewing out a deadly cocktail of radioactive isotopes. The night sky was illuminated by the eerie glow of ionizing radiation, a sight forever etched in the memories of those who witnessed it. In the immediate aftermath, firefighters bravely battled the flames, unaware of the invisible enemy they were facing. These men, now known as the liquidators, risked their lives in the desperate attempt to contain the disaster, unknowingly becoming victims themselves. The explosion at Chernobyl was a cataclysmic event that reverberated far beyond the borders of Ukraine. It was a disaster that exposed the world to the devastating potential of nuclear power when things go horribly wrong. It was a stark reminder of the fine line between harnessing atomic energy and succumbing to its destructive power. The explosion was just the beginning of a crisis that would last for many years. The fallout from the explosion was catastrophic and far-reaching. The immediate aftermath was a chaotic blur of fear and confusion. The Soviet Union's state of denial initially led to delays in evacuation, exposing the citizens of Pripyat to high levels of radiation. It wasn't until 36 hours post-explosion that the order for evacuation was finally issued. Imagine, if you will, a bustling city of nearly 50,000 people turned into a ghost town almost overnight. As the radioactive particles spread, they didn't just confine themselves to the boundaries of the Soviet Union. The invisible enemy drifted across Europe, silently contaminating the continent. Radioactive rain fell in Ireland, while increased radiation levels were detected as far away as Sweden. This was no longer a Soviet issue, it was a global catastrophe. The health effects on the affected population were immediate and devastating. Cases of thyroid cancer skyrocketed, particularly among children exposed to the fallout. Birth defects and other radiation-related illnesses became tragically common. Yet amidst the chaos and despair, the human spirit prevailed. Enter the Chernobyl liquidators, the unsung heroes of this dark chapter in history. Thousands of men and women, from soldiers to miners, engineers to firefighters, risked their lives in the hazardous mission to contain the disaster. They toiled under extreme conditions, fully aware of the risks they were taking. Their bravery and selflessness were a beacon of hope in a sea of despair. In the end, the Chernobyl disaster exposed the world to the terrifying power of nuclear energy when it spirals out of control. It served as a stark reminder of the importance of safety precautions, transparency, and international cooperation in the face of global threats. The effects of the disaster are still palpable today, with the exclusion zone remaining uninhabitable. The ghost town of Pripyat stands as a chilling testament to the catastrophic fallout of the Chernobyl disaster, a poignant reminder of a tragedy that the world should never forget. The Chernobyl disaster left an indelible mark on the world. Its reverberations echo through the halls of nuclear policy and safety protocols, forever shaping our approach to harnessing atomic energy. Following the catastrophe, nations worldwide were compelled to re-evaluate their nuclear programs. Many tightened their safety regulations, with some going as far as to phase out nuclear power entirely. The incident prompted a global introspection into the potential risks of nuclear energy, giving rise to a new era of stringent safety measures. Nuclear plants now operate under a culture of safety, where precautions are paramount and transparency is key. The International Atomic Energy Agency, or IAEA, has since established comprehensive safety standards, and countries have come together to support international conventions promoting nuclear safety. Meanwhile, efforts to contain the radiation at Chernobyl continue. The new safe confinement, a massive steel structure, now encases the reactor, sealing in the radioactive remains and shielding the environment from further contamination. It's a testament to human ingenuity and resilience in the face of catastrophe, a symbol of our determination to remediate the mistakes of the past. Yet, amidst the scars of this human tragedy, nature has found a way to reclaim its space. The exclusion zone, once a bustling hub of human activity, is now a thriving wildlife refuge. Species not seen for decades have made an unexpected return, and animals like the Przewalski's horse and the European bison roam freely in this unlikely sanctuary. Despite the devastation, the legacy of Chernobyl is not entirely bleak. It has forced us to confront the consequences of our actions, to re-evaluate our relationship with nuclear energy, and to strive for safer, more responsible practices. Chernobyl serves as a stark reminder of the power and danger of nuclear energy. It's a story of disaster and recovery, of nature's resilience, and of the enduring human spirit. It's a lesson we must never forget as we navigate our way towards a sustainable future.